The latest data is in and it shows a substantial shift south to the storm track by midweek, and that has implications on severe weather chances. Welcome into the show. I'm your host, Meteorologist Jason Prichard. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. We've got a little chance today of severe weather, a small chance tomorrow as well over a wider area, and then our severe weather probabilities really ramp up as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday across parts of the Mid-South and South and even the ArklaTex region. We're going to take a look at all of that. Heavy rain is also a possibility for some areas, and the Climate Prediction Center, or the Weather Prediction Center rather, has a risk assessment out with several hazards that they're watching. We're going to take a look at that and see how the pattern is set to unfold through the middle of May. It's certainly a stark contrast to April, that is for sure. We're going to start with the water vapor imagery. On this map, you can see a lot of yellows across the south. That is very dry air. Hard to get any kind of precipitation, much less severe weather when you have this kind of dry air around. But you can see in the flow some whites showing up here, tracking across the nation from west to east. These are little impulses circling around a broad cyclonic flow in this direction. And as long as we have low pressure, a general zone of low pressure to the north of Canada, we've got that flow out of Canada, and around that, that's where we see a corridor of energy. And we also have a subtropical jet active here as well, which we've been talking about. And you can see that energy working in to the southwest, and that will play a role as we get toward midweek in terms of severe weather chances. Now, our alert map is pretty clean. There's just a couple of alerts out here really across the northern border states up here in the mid-central plains. We're looking at some windy conditions later. It's going to be dry up here, so don't burn anything. Red flag warnings are in effect. Wind advisories today out in parts of California and Nevada, and that's pretty much it. You can see the rain on the radar. I've got a little bit of batch of showers working through Davenport to Dubuque and approaching Milwaukee here in northern Michigan as well. And then over here again in eastern New England, particularly Maine, where we're seeing some of that heavier rain, and then across southern Florida, seeing a few showers down here. But other than that, pretty clean this morning. Here is our surface map. There's a frontal boundary sagging in, and as that frontal boundary gets to the east later today and it interacts with a little corridor of energy working through the Ohio Valley, could see some showers and thunderstorms and potentially a little severe weather right in here. Not really looking at very much. If anything happens, it'd be wind, hail, but the models are really not doing a lot with this. But we could see an isolated severe thunderstorm today. As a matter of fact, if we take a look here at the weather, the Storm Prediction Center, there you go. You have it through Missouri into Illinois, potentially getting on into, I think I drew it a little bit to the east of that on the previous map, but we're, potentially some thunderstorms getting in here to parts of southern Indiana and over into southern Ohio. Most of Kentucky could see a shower, thunderstorm today, but again, we're not looking at a lot of coverage here, just some scattered showers around out west and across the north today. We're looking at 0% chance of tornadoes, not a zero. You can never say a zero, but less than 2%. So it's very unlikely to see tornadoes. Wind, hail are the primary threats today. Tomorrow, the real estate area, aerial coverage of real estate gets larger with more energy coming in, a little more defined of an impulse, and that frontal boundary will be sagging south. The problem is we don't have a lot of moisture, so we've got some very weak moisture trajectories out of the Gulf, but nothing really to surge those dew points. And we're talking dew points in the 50s. You need to get dew points in the 60s and 70s really ramp those severe weather chances up, unless you have a strong system aloft, which we really don't. So anywhere from eastern Kansas, from Wichita, Kansas City, all the way over into Fort Wayne and Columbia, or Columbus, Ohio rather, into southern Wisconsin, southern and western Michigan. That's where we're looking at the greatest corridor tomorrow of severe weather. Tornadoes not really likely because, again, we don't have a lot of low-level spin, high bases on the clouds, relatively speaking. Wind and hail would be the primary threats. But then as we get on into Wednesday, we start to see chances ramp up, and that is because that southern stream is going to crank up. Frontal boundary will be sagging south. Dew points will come up out ahead of that southern stream, and we'll see energy begin to really become compact here across the ArklaTex into northern Arkansas, and then slight risk here and a marginal risk around that. So we're going to see definitely a better wind threat, probably a better tornado threat as well. Not looking at a severe weather outbreak here. Beyond this, low pressure is going to develop and scoot in this direction. And the other day, yesterday, it was very, very weak, that reflection. I had it up here and moving off into the northeast. So Now we're seeing the subtropical jet interact with the northern stream energy a little bit more and provide an opportunity for low pressure to form a little farther to the south, and that will have implications as we head through the rest of the middle of the week. Could see severe weather begin to really be a problem in this pink area here across the south. And we're going to have to watch and see how things develop as we get on in. But those are the areas that I'm focused in on as we get on in toward Wednesday, potentially into Tuesday, or Wednesday, potentially into Thursday as well. So that's what we're looking at from a severe weather standpoint. All right. This is how things should play out as we head through the afternoon, the next couple of days. This morning, a few showers in Maine, a few showers through the center portion of the country as we saw on the radar. As we head through the afternoon, not really a whole lot going on. Florida, you'll activate a little bit. Rain will pull out of the northeast and a few showers through the Great Lakes area. And the model's not really doing a lot as we head on in toward 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Not until later in the evening, late evening, 10-ish, 11, we see a few thunderstorms break out here. A couple of those could be severe, but nothing major. And then things will diminish a little bit in intensity as we approach 7 a.m., 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Just some showers working through the Tennessee Valley into Kentucky. Everybody else looking good. California, a few showers, Nevada, and then down in southern Florida. So most of the nation high and dry. As we head through Monday afternoon and get into Monday evening, we really start to see a bit more activity along that frontal boundary. Moisture is going to be creeping up ever so slightly. A couple of more waves in the mid levels of the atmosphere kick off some showers and thunderstorms. Could see a better coverage of severe weather tomorrow. There is a chance that we go to a slight risk, although it's very dicey on that. Even so, we're not looking at a big severe weather outbreak here, just isolated severe thunderstorms most likely, if indeed they do occur through the plains here into the parts of the western Ohio Valley. But we're going to see more energy come in out west and maybe organize a little bit of a better area of precipitation through Wyoming, Colorado. Could see some snow in the higher elevations and some substantial accumulations for some of those areas. And then as we head into Tuesday morning, batch of rain begins to really break out ahead of a developing low. That's what we're going to be watching for, a developing low pressure here scooting off in this general direction, probably a little south of that where I drew that arrow. And then as we head on in through Tuesday afternoon, watch what happens back in here, southern Missouri, Oklahoma into Arkansas. Plenty of rain from that frontal boundary back into the northern parts of the Four Corners region up into the Great Lakes. But there's where we're going to find our greatest threat of severe weather heading into Tuesday afternoon and into the early evening and overnight hours here. And as we get into the overnight hours, that low pressure will continue to slide to the east. We'll wake up Wednesday morning with showers all over the place in the Tennessee Valley. And there's where we have a question mark. By the time we get to Wednesday afternoon, dynamics will be in place. Low-level moisture will be in place, but will we have instability? This convection coming through the area on Tuesday night as we get into Wednesday morning, that might help to overturn the atmosphere enough to keep our instability low. We can hope for that. If that happens, we'll see a lower threat of severe weather. Some of the models, though, are actually bringing instability up to the point where we get a significant severe weather event here in the Tennessee Valley and parts of the Deep South. So we will watch that as we head through Wednesday into Thursday and see what happens by the time we get into there, because that threat could shift east across the Mid-South and Southeast as we head into later toward the latter portion of the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursdays. We get into the late week, we'll really start to see everything clear out as that frontal zone moves out Friday and Saturday and Sunday. But more snow in Colorado and Wyoming, Four Corners region with that system in. And here's our flow pattern. So here's what's causing all of the stuff. Big blocking regime up here in Canada, south of Greenland. It's keeping this low pressure from being able to migrate to the northeast and escape. So it's hanging in. You can see that trough. And then our Rex block, sort of like an omega block. We talked about this the other day, but you got a low pressure, high pressure, low pressure. Looks like an omega pattern here in the flow. But Rexing over the west, off the west coast of the United States. Big high pressure dome over a low pressure dome as well. And you get our low pressure trough. It's really a closed low. And as we head on through the week, look at that troughing just continue to hang out over the eastern section of the country with ridging to the west that brings a little bit warmer air out here, cooler air to the east, and you can see the flow pattern across the south. Look at this. You got a flow across the south like that. That is bringing in impulses across the south, and that will link up eventually with one of these impulses coming out of the north. And as we get into Wednesday, you can see how this trough kind of shapes up out here in the southern plains, and that's where low pressure will deform out ahead of that and slide on to the east. And then we get another reinvigorating trough in the east, bringing colder temperatures in relative to normal. The European is pretty steadfast on keeping us cooler than normal through the first half of the month in the east, as ridging just continues to hold out west. Troughing continues in the east. Wednesday morning, showers through the ArklaTex into the Tennessee Valley. And as we head through Wednesday afternoon, look at this. A lot of thunderstorms developing down in Texas, all the way up and down that frontal boundary through eastern Pennsylvania, across the Appalachians. There comes that wave of low pressure Wednesday night into Thursday, re-energizing the severe weather threat overnight Wednesday. And then by the time we get into Thursday afternoon into the evening hours, things will be pulling off, low pressure cranking up to the north. And then Friday, we're left with a high pressure day, nice day up and down the eastern seaboard for the most part on Friday, with maybe the exception of northern Maine, and then more energy coming in to bring some showers through the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley as we head in toward Saturday. Not a tremendous amount of rain, but certainly up to an inch in spots through parts of the southeast all the way up to Maine, with big rain through the Tennessee Valley and the deep south. We could see as much as 2 inches of rain. This takes us through Friday at 7 p.m. Take a look at this. Let's go on the fly here. Let's look at the 5-day averages of temperatures as we head out in time. Let's do the 2-meter temperatures instead of the 850 meter or millibar temperature maps. So these are 5-day averages. Cold, 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 cold. And I'm saying cold. Let's just read that as cooler than normal. It's not going to be cold. It might be a little colder up in the north, but certainly below normal temperatures in the east, above normal out west, all the way through the end of the period. Look at this, just continuing all the way through the period. This takes us through the middle of May, and then finally we might warm up a little bit as we get toward the end of May, but just troughing generally speaking in the east. Over the next couple of days though, as far as temperatures go, we'll look at wind first. Wind gusting into the 40s, potentially up here in North Dakota, parts of Montana and western portions of Minnesota. Corridor of wind along that front today, gusting into the 20s, maybe some 30s and 40s out here again in the desert southwest areas, and some gusty winds up in New England as well, but nothing too serious going along today. We've seen much higher winds than this through the spring. Here we have temperatures today making their way up into the upper 80s in the southern plains, 80s along the south, but 70s through much of the deep south and up into the northern plains, warming up out west with 80s out here and 40s in the northeast today. Tomorrow, what are we looking at tomorrow? Well, much of the same, but just warming up generally in the east. Still cool across the north, but 80s out here in the west, approaching 90 in the southern plains, and then 70s to 80 in the upper parts of the southeast. So that'll be nice. Florida, you're looking at highs in the 80s, and as we get on out into Tuesday, looking at those temperatures creep up across the south and the eastern seaboard as well, out ahead of the next storm system coming in on southerly flow, with a big cool down coming into the plains as we head into midweek. 6 to 10 day temperatures. Look at this. Below normal in the east, above in Florida, well above out west, below in Alaska, above in Hawaii. And there is your corridor of the highest likelihood of above normal precipitation. That is across the south, up the eastern seaboard, parts of the Ohio Valley, below, out west, and northwest Pacific, specifically. And there's Alaska mixed with more above a normal anomalies as you head to the east. And Hawaii is above. And here's the hazards map for the Weather Prediction Center. So we're looking at potentially heavy rain in the Ohio Valley and parts of the Tennessee Valley, on up and back into the lower Mississippi Valley, on up into the northeast as we get into 5.5 through 5.7. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. Potentially some freezing temperatures and frost, of course, goes along with that as we get into 5.5 through 5.8. Behind that cold front, we're going to see air come out of Canada in a hurry, and it's going to bring a lot of cold air with it, because that's where the cold air is up there. And potentially severe weather, 5.5 and 5.6, and maybe even 5.7 will need to be added to this with time as we see how that system begins to evolve. But that's what we're looking at as we head through the next several days. All right, so that's your forecast for today. I hope you have a wonderful end to your weekend and a good start to your work week. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. In the meantime, you remember to stay sharp, chase hard, and we'll be back tomorrow with another weather video. Take care, everybody. Have a great day, and God bless.